We're going to touch back on that. Let's see. Legal snaps right here. We are recorded. I'm supposed to tell you that. That's what Skype says to do. That's what we do. This is The Couch. I'm DJ Gonzo. And we got one of my very favorite people, one of the most humble dudes I know. And hopefully we can ignite him and get him talking. Mr. Fuentes for Funny Farm Records. Thanks for coming on The Couch.
For sure, man. Thanks for inviting me. I love the last one, so I couldn't say no whenever you told me to come back.
All right, and that's really, I think we've all progressed in our lives and how we do things, and I think when you came on last time, you didn't really know what to expect, right?
No, I had no idea. It was actually one of the first times I had like an interview type-ish thing, so I was like, I don't know what this guy's gonna ask me or tell me, and it ended up being really chill. I really enjoyed it. So I know you've gotten better at like how you interview people and do things, so I'm really excited to hear what you got to throw at me this time.
All right, excellent. Well, same old stuff. It's off the hip a lot, you know what I mean? And sometimes it's stuff that I wanted to ask and things I wanted to find out. So we were talking about stories earlier, and you kind of hate that question.
Yeah.
Like, is that a fair word? Is that what I got from that?
It's pretty fair. I think one of the biggest things that I don't like to do in my like whenever you make your own music profiles on anything, there's always a biography section, and I'm like, what the hell do I put here? Like, I'm just a normal guy who raps. Like, what story do I have to tell to make people engaged in my story? Like, if you like my music, you like my music. And I've had people pry enough to where I will tell them a story that surprises me. Like, oh, I never really thought about that. That is kind of a interesting story. So I'm wondering what you're gonna pry out of me today. What story I'm gonna tell.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go with what I know of you on a very basic form, um, and draw a comparison and stuff because I think you do have a story. Maybe I'm a little off with it. I don't know. Um, I could see your story being told possibly as a Kevin Smith movie. You got your larger than life character in the Mr. Fuentes, the mask, the blazer on stage, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you got the clerk background, the barista background. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you still got that very smart, intuitive, libertarian, I think,
That's what I
mindset, right?
that's what I would
Huh?
say my political party mindset it leans toward more.
Okay. Which that. Oh shit! One of the dumbest shit I ever did in my life.
What?
So over here I have Pixar. Over here I have Pixar. And it keeps acting up and sending like some weird stuff to my phone right now. So I tried to delete it off. I think I tried to delete. No, we're still live. Holy shit! I thought I actually deleted off the speaker. I don't know what I deleted off my phone right now, but it sure the fuck wasn't Pixar. But we're still live. I was afraid we missed that. There's always something goes wrong in the show, dude. It's because we're named after Hunter Thompson. There's something always going to. There's some mischief, some mayhem.
It
Some
happens.
it
It
does.
happens on it happens on stage. It happens everywhere. When it comes to entertainment, there's always hiccups all the time.
It's building character. But so on the Kevin Smith thing, do you think like if your story was told, do you think that would be a director that would tell your story? Up to now,
Kevin
could think
Smith.
clerks, big early
There,
Kevin Smith clerks.
so like it's funny to say Kevin Smith because like I love uh Clerks 1 and Clerks 2 are probably like my favorite movies ever. I love both those movies. And it is funny because you're right, like those two are just average guys, but you have like a whole story to tell about them and their growth and how they progress forward. I don't know. I think that's what made those movies so genuine. I think that's why whenever another one of my favorite movies is Super Bad, um, and it also has a similar kind of feel. It's like a day in the life of these kids and the things that's going on with them, and um, I really love I really love movies like that. I don't know if it just makes it because they're more humanizing, I guess. Like I know what that
Relatable.
guy's going through. What's up?
Related.
Yeah,
Relatable.
it's relatable, and even if it's not relatable to you, like you kind of know someone that's going through something similar. Um, so yeah, I guess that's a pretty good example. Yeah.
Although I don't know anybody that's having a birthday party with a donkey show right now. I mean, maybe after COVID, I don't know, but like I can relate on that one.
I'm sure somebody relates to that.
I'm the sexy stud.
Yeah, the sexy story. What is it? Mary? No, not Mary Lou. What was the name of the donkey?
Fuck. I
I
don't
don't
know. I always
remember.
just remember him saying, "I miss my donkey."
Yeah, being in jail. I
Yeah,
miss my donkey. Uh,
that fucking great movie. But you're right, they're relatable. They're definitely relatable, but they also gave you like that perspective on things and life and shit. Like the smaller, minute things, like Seinfeld for stoners, kind of. Talking about
yeah,
smaller subjects, smaller things. But at the same time, because with the stories, he did what before really like any Marvel universe or anybody, he started intermingling in the View Askew universe, all these
yeah,
characters and stuff, and like we would wait to see the little hints here, the little this there, or like, oh, that's that girl that killed herself swimming because he said she was fat and shit. That's her cousin that did that. Fuck
yeah.
the dead dude. I think that's how it worked out. So I think that's what kind of drew us in.
That was a yeah. That was a. I guess that's a pretty good. Yeah, it's a pretty good comparison. I think Kevin Smith uh is a pretty good because that's pretty much how I view my music and my life. Like I don't think it's super exciting and stuff, but when you put it into a musical form that's relatable, it does. It just makes an impact on people, because it's relatable. You can feel like I ain't doing shit today. Like the song I ain't doing shit today. It's a song about literally like I'm off, I'm tired, I worked like all week long, like I get a day off, like this is it. Like I know there's the things that I gotta do, but I'm tired, man. I ain't doing shit today. And it was funny because like I have a friend who's like a workout enthusiast and he's like an active person all the time. And so I showed him the song and he was like one of my best friends. So like whenever I get some songs done, I'll send them to my good friends for them to listen to and give me like some critiques. And I sent it to him and he was like, I was like, so what do you think of the song? And he's like, I don't know, man. You're promoting laziness. Like I don't, I don't get that, bro. And and so I was like, no, you don't get the main concept of it. The main concept is like you're a hard worker. You've been doing stuff, and today you don't want to do anything. Like you're already done all the work. Like you're not a lazy bastard. You've done all this hard work, and you need a day off, dude. Like, and that's if not, you get burnt out. You get burnt out trying to always be active every single day. You need to take a day off and just to relax, recharge, and then be able to do all the stuff all over again. Um, and then after I explained it like that, he was like, "You're right. You're right. Okay, like I see your point of view. I see what you're saying." And it kind of upset me, honestly, because I was like, "Man, I wasn't supposed to have to explain that to you. The song was supposed to tell you that. Like, why did I have to explain that to you?" Um, but but
And if
after
he
that,
didn't,
huh?
if he didn't get it then, he gets it now because you re-explained it to him.
Yeah. Uh, but I don't know. I do try to put like relatable things. You know what I really think's funny is like, I mean, you want to hear a story still? Is that what you're still looking for the story?
You know what my shit is like. We go where it flows. Like lay it on me, bro. Let's
All
take
right.
this ride.
All right. So I remember. I think I've told this story partially, but I don't know if I told it last time. But if I did, sorry to anyone that's listening to me again, and I'm retelling a story. But basically, I remember after the hurricane, after all that BS, I basically got depressed, but I quit my job, and it was coming up to like summertime, like almost a year later after I quit my job, and I hadn't really done anything musically. And I kind of like got to this kind of like mindset of like, I need to like get something done like ASAP. Like I need to get something done. So it came like summertime, and the contest for Kato for his man, what does Kato do? Don't funk with my beats or something.
Something like
Ah,
that.
I forget what he does. No sucker MCs. That's what it's called. Anyway,
Yeah.
he does no sucker MCs. No sucker MCs came up, and but it wasn't Kato. I used a Kato beat, but it was a one take contest. Anyway, so it came up, and I was like, all right, man, I'm gonna enter this. Blah blah blah. The whole month, I like as soon as it comes up, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna pick this beat. This is the one I'm gonna use. All right, and then I come up, and I have a week. I forget about it. I just go back to like not doing shit again, and then I have a whole week left to write a song, record a video, shoot the video, edit it, and get it put in for this contest. And I'm like, you know what? You said you were gonna do it, so you're gonna do it. So like I spent days and nights just getting like this song. I wrote the song. It was Get Out of My Face. It was the song Get Out of My Face. I wrote the song Get Out of My Face in like a day and a half. Like it was like I got off of work one night. I stayed up for like 4 hours and wrote the first verse, and then I woke up the next day before work and finished like half of the second verse, and when I got off work, I finished it again. So like in about 1.5 day fan period, I finished writing the song, and then I was like, all right, well now I need to do a video. And I was like, man, I hate doing videos. Like I don't know what I'm gonna do. So that was a whole nother process. And while this is going on to like motivate me in a sense, I was doing like Instagram posts every single day. All right, this is day one. I got 7 days to make a video, and this is what we're doing. I haven't written the song. I haven't done nothing. And I think you could still go to my Instagram and go like find those videos.
That's
But
cool.
so like day one, I was like, all right, this is what I'm doing, and this is what I'm doing to motivate myself. I'm gonna make myself accountable by posting a video every day of my progress of what I'm doing to get this done. And I didn't know people were gonna start like paying attention to it like before, because I wasn't really doing anything before. But I posted a video and I started getting a lot of like likes, and people were like kind of interacting with it. And then the second day, same stuff. You know, I got a lot of people like, "Oh, you go, bro, you get that done." Blah blah blah. By the fifth day, I just had a bunch of people like, "Hey man, you getting that video done? Hell yeah, get that shit done! Like I can't wait to hear this shit whenever it's done." Like everyone's all hyped up about this video, and it's like one day before the deadline. The guy that was supposed to like videotape the video, he wasn't able to come by my house or do anything, and I was about to just do like a one take just sitting down. Like you've seen the music video for Get Out of My Face, right? Like I'm kind of going around my house and stuff like that. Well, later you can check it out. But
Yeah,
uh,
no, like fuck, I'm sure I have, but I'll go back to it. We'll pass by that.
yeah, we'll go back. We'll check it out.
Oh,
But basically, like I had a whole idea that I was gonna like. Basically, the video was I'm gonna be walking through my house, so I needed someone to like follow me with the camera. And I was like about to just say like, all right, screw it. I'm just gonna record all of this, just standing still, like how me and you were talking. Just do a
yeah.
one take video, just without having to run around the house and do it. Because that was one of the requirements, is that it had to be in one take the entire video. You couldn't stop it or do anything. It had to be one straight take. So the guy canceled on me. Everything was going wrong. And I was like, man, this sucks, man. I'm not going to be able to like, and on top of that, I still had to record the song, mix the song, do everything. And I got all that done. I got the song mixed. I got everything like proper how I wanted. I just needed that video. And I go online to check out like the stuff again one more time. And it turned out he extended it another week. The guys
Shit.
extended the contest another week.
That's fucking great.
And so I'm like, oh, fuck, yes. Like, I get a whole nother week to try to get this shit done. Because the guy was like, I have so many submissions. I have to extend it so I can watch the rest of these submissions so I can get a appropriate time. He's like, so I was like, all right, cool. I have a whole nother week. Like, I'm going to get this done. I planned it out with my friend. We got it all done. But there was also another stipulation. After you posted it, before the deadline was done, you had to have over 400 shares of that video on Facebook. So,
Okay. Yes.
so I needed to get it done before the week was done. So I think that weekend, I got it put up 3 days before the deadline. So I finally get everything good, finally get it where I want. I upload it, and I'm like, all right, man, like, I just need 400 people to share this. Like, I just need 400. I only have 3 days, but I hope I can do this. And because of what I was doing, what I was telling you before, with the videos and Instagram and like getting everyone hyped up for this video, the first day I got 186 shares on Facebook, and then the next day it was 300. I think by the next day I already had all 400 shares. Like, everybody was like, and the way they like programmed this website, like, it knew if the same profile shared again. So it had to be 400 individual profiles. It couldn't be your homie sharing your shit 400 times. It knew that your homie already shared it, so it only counted as one share. So I had to get 400 individual. In the end, I got 486 shares before the deadline was done.
I think I found out about you. Because like Sam and Drew and everybody, I think this is where I started noticing you. It was right about then. Because that have been about, what, 16 months ago?
Yeah, I mean, well, I think this
14?
year is coming up. This year in July is coming up to 2 months, or 2 months, 2 years. Sorry, that 2 years old that this video is gonna be. And so yeah, after I put that stuff out, I started getting a lot of traction. People started actually like, dude, you're dope. And I started getting messages from all kinds of weird people. And not weird, but, you know, I started getting like a bunch of attention all of a sudden. And it was really just a kind of a crazy
listening
thing
to
me.
this.
No, you're good. It was really kind of crazy thing to me because, like, I'm not a very nice.
Yeah, I knew I had it here, dude. I still got all that stuff from when you brought the CD out.
And I appreciate that.
I mean, I see all the videos and shit, but I still support you. I support the people I like.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Fuck yeah. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing if you guys aren't doing what you guys are doing.
It is true. Interviewers need people to interview.
Right? I think people would get bored of me because it would just be me and it'd just be me and Mr. Kitty Love sitting here talking to each other, and I don't think that'd be much fun.
Beautiful videos like that, I'm sure.
Right? I mean, I could if I I just don't know how to do all the filming stuff. And fortunately, that's the way it works sometimes. But so you got into that. We're on the Cato that, okay, that's your story. I'm trying to place myself back with it because like I got into what you were saying, so now I got to get myself back, right? But from that point, where did that point go? Were you on Funny Farm already then, or how long after did you get on Funny Farm?
And actually, like, it all kind of started coinciding at the same time, which is like, I was about to tell you part of what, so beforehand, I've never really been like a spiritual person, let's put it that way. I've never really been like a believer in God too much, or even that there was a higher power out there. I was never really that big of a believer in anything that was like that. I'm kind of just more like, it was logical, made sense, and if it's not logical, it doesn't make sense. Like, you know, that's just life. Life is black and white. There's no in between. You can't tell me this or that. So after all this happened, I was like, okay, so I put out the video for this, and I was like, all right, man, like, something needs to happen with this rap shit. And I remember I was like really motivated during the month of June. I think the video was uploaded in July, and I had a concert, or it was like the end of June. I had a concert July 5th, and this is when I'll first meet Nairo. And I was gonna open up for Nairo. I paid for a small slot to open up for Nairo in Austin. And so I got that slot like in the beginning of June. So I already knew in a whole month in advance that this is what was gonna happen. And I was like, all right, man. In that time, I made like those promises to myself. I made a couple of promises to myself. One, I was like, when I go to the concert in Austin, which in my head I was like, I'm gonna go into a concert. There's gonna be like 400 heads in there, and they're all gonna love me, and I'm gonna get famous, and this is how I really thought. I'm not even joking with you. Like, it's ridiculous. And I'm like, I'm gonna go to Austin. There's just gonna be so many people, and I'm gonna blow their minds with my show, and they're all gonna love me, and I'm gonna blow up, and that's what's gonna happen, right? And at the same time, this contest is going on. I'm like, I'm gonna enter this contest. I'm gonna win first place. I'm gonna get this shit done. Like, this is the shit that's happening. You're gonna become something with your life, and this is where it's gonna start right now, right here. So that whole month, I was motivated. I was like, you're gonna do this, but there was a stipulation. All that motivation I put in there, it came with a price at the end, and the price was, if nothing comes about with this contest and nothing comes about with this concert in Austin, you're going to quit rapping. So I put everything I had into making this music video, getting prepared for this concert, and going out there and doing what I was doing. And so I already did half of my promise to myself. I put this music video out, got a lot of traction. People were really enjoying it. I was like, all right, cool. That was like kind of the motivation I needed. I was like, next, I need to go to Austin. I need to blow some minds, and I need to become famous, basically, or just start gaining some traction. And I drive out to Austin, and I go to Texas. It's a place called Texas Mist. And whenever I'm getting there, it was a bitch to get there, because there was like construction going on, and you had to take like a very specific road to get to where this bar was at. And I was like, and while I was driving into it, I was like, dude, there's no way anyone's coming out here to this fucking place. And I started kind of already giving myself doubts. Like, I was already getting the doubts in my body. And I already had this promise in my head. Like, if nothing comes out of this show, you're going to quit rapping. So I'm just like almost devastated at this point. I'm just like, dude, there's no way this is where this concert's at. Like, you're so fucked. Like, you're quitting rapping. Like, this is what's happening, all right? So I go there, I get there, there's like no cars in the parking lot whatsoever, really. And I'm there like 2 or 3 hours early, and I think Nairo's just getting there with his van, and they're still unloading stuff and getting things set up. And I'm still early, so I'm thinking like, well, maybe people will show up a little bit later and things. And I get in there, and I was like, well, I'm here to talk to people, to network. I start trying to network and do things, and I'm gonna tell this story. I just hope it doesn't offend the person who it's about. This story. But this is the first time I walk in there. I'm trying to make connects, and this is the first time I meet Drew and Don Arias and Tim. Tim Torment was there, and so I think the first person I tried to talk to was Nairo, and Nairo was trying to set shit up, which is understandable. He was kind of like running around back and forth, and I was like, "Hey, what's up, Mr. Fuentes? I'm one of your opening acts." And he's like, "All right, that's cool, man," and just kind of walks past me, like kind of does his shit. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I'm not here trying to talk and network. Fuck me. Anyway, and so like I'm walking around, and the next person, I think I meet Tim And Tim's just kind of a quick like, hey, what's up, man? Dad, blah blah. I was like, hey, I'm Mr. Fuentes. He's like, hey, I'm Tim Torment. He's like, it's nice to meet you. And then he kind of like walks away and does his thing too. And so I'm like, all right, everyone kind of seems kind of busy. You know, this is the tour life, I guess. You're a busy person trying to get things set up. And
Right.
so I think the last person I meet is Don Arias. And so I walk up to Don Arias and I'm like, hey, what's up? My name's Mr. Fuentes. And like, this guy isn't looking me in the face at all. Like, his face is kind of like cock turned. And I'm like talking directly to him. And he kind of like he's like, what's up? I'm Don Arias. And I was like, oh, what's up, Don? Oh, and I was like, so you use your real name too for rapping? And he's like, you think my name would be the name of a demon? And I was like, what? I'm just like confused. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And and he's like, no, man, my real name's Andrew, but my rap name's Don Arias. And I was like, oh, that's dope, man. And and so he's kind of like, yeah, man, well, you know, I gotta go do some things. I'll see you like whenever I go on stage. And I was like, well, fuck, man, I came here to network and everyone I try to talk to is busy. And so I'm just like, all right, man, that's cool. Like, I'll just wait for my turn to do my shit. And so I'm kind of there. I'm a bit depressed at this point because I'm like, man, I came to network, can't talk to anyone. Everyone doesn't really want to talk to me. By the time it was time to start like the performances and stuff, there was like nobody there. Like a couple of people came in, but like in the end, there was like maybe 6 people that were there that paid that wasn't artists. So I'm like,
Right.
I'm just like, fuck, man, like this is terrible. Like this is it. This is the end of my career, I guess. And then like it's about time for me to go on. I kind of like summon up every bit of strength I have and just like, you know what? You've been practicing this set for 2 whole weeks. Every day you've been practicing this for 2 weeks. You're gonna fucking get up there and fucking give it your all for those 6 people in the crowd. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, you're gonna fucking do this shit. And so I went up there. I fucking straight out the fucking gate. Just went in with one of my faster raps and just started going in. And everyone that was there just like loved it. And like as soon as I finished my first song, Nairo like stops everything. This is a video I share around often, but Nairo stops everything and he's like, whoa, like, what the fuck was that, man? And I was like, whoa, like I honestly thought I did something wrong. Like what the fuck? Like, what did I do? He's like, no, you can't be here, man. Like, you need to get out of here. You're gonna make me look bad. And I was like, like, oh, okay. He liked what I did. That's good. And he's like, Jesus Christ, holy fuck, man. And he's like, all right. And then like that made me feel good. You know, the rest of my concert, I was like happy and like full of energy. I finished up my stuff. And at the end of all that, you know, Nairo talked with me and he was like, well, I'm just starting this label and I would love to have you on it. Like you're an awesome, you do good work. I love the songs that I heard and me and you need to talk. And I was like, is this guy offering me a record deal, like a contract? Like, and I was like confused. And I was like, cause like deep down, like I've always wanted to do this independently. I've always wanted to just do all my stuff on my own in a sense. Like I never really wanted a boss. But at the same time, like I've been doing this for like seriously since probably like 2012, so like 8 years, and I wasn't getting anywhere by then. This was like 2018 that I met Nairo, so I was like, I've already been doing this for 6 years, trying to do it on my own, and it doesn't seem to be getting me anywhere. Maybe I do need help from someone else, and it was kind of one of those like things aligned. And I was supposed to quit rap that day. And instead I got offered a contract on a record label. And it kind of made me like, it's always like those, what's the word I want to say? Not superstitious, but the spiritual people that are talking about like whenever you put your mind to something, like the universe makes things work
Right.
if you work toward it or if you're trying to work toward it. And that's when I kind of became a big believer in like those ideals. Like if you work hard towards something and you really believe in it and you really put your true conviction into it, the universe got your back and the universe
Right.
helped you out. And I don't know, a lot when I think about when I tell that story, because I've told that story a couple of times, it's insane to me. Like there's something there's a higher power out there. I don't know what it is or what it does, but if you're doing the right shit in your life, it's trying to help you do better. And
See, fucker, you had a story. You had a story.
But I mean, so far I've really, since then I've been on Funny Farm. I've opened up for Twisted. I've opened up for Shaggy Two Dope, Tech and Nine, like stuff I never dreamed I would have done, and probably stuff I would have never done on my own, if not me going to this concert and blowing this guy's mind on
Right.
stage and doing this thing.
It's a good guy to blow too.
He has some nice fuzzy balls.
Oh, fuzzy fur balls. Jeffree Star, help that man out with some ball blush, please.
He does ball brush, Jeffree. Really
He
does.
does. Stop being a bastard, you prejudiced fuck. Real, especially when it gets later at night, it's real hot in here, my blood sugar goes like this. Well, then I just say what I say, and fucking fucker. But that gets me in trouble too. Hey, you're a bit of an inspiration.
Who, me?
Yeah, and I say this at least into my wardrobe attire, because when I started Mr. Kitty Love'ems, I had to try and put something together, and it was around Halloween time, I think, or somewhere in there. So I had to get the mask. But then I was like, I gotta have something cool with the mask. And then one day it presented itself to me at Walmart like a shining star, like if it shone down on Jesus on the day he was born and shit, right? This blazer kicked in, and I love it. It's a dinner coat. I don't know what it is. You can tell me what it is.
I mean, I can't tell you what it is. I'll tell you it's a blazer, and that's all I'll ever tell you. If it has two lapels on it and has a button in the front, it's a blazer.
Bro, and it came with the tie too for $12.
Yeah, that's funny because it also has kittens on it. That's great.
Yeah, good old Mr. Kitty Love'ems. So then I break out the mask. Boom. Which I don't know how you would wrap behind the fucking mask, dude. This shit sucks.
In the front mouth right here, with where the smile's at, I have it cut out right there. So like if I ever do wrap in it, you actually can hear what I'm saying. And people actually say I sound better with the mask on because the little thing that I put in front of it kind of acts like a pop filter, like for a microphone. So it just makes my voice sound more clear whenever I'm rapping.
Dude, that is actually fucking dope. You might get jacked for some ideas again. But I'm already giving you credit for the attire and stuff. But that really helps because it's hard enough for people to understand, Mr. Keel, like people don't understand what the fuck I'm saying. And behind this, it makes it even fucking harder.
Yeah. I think, if you cut out the front and maybe put a little piece of fabric, like a thin piece of fabric, and just glue it around the front, then you could talk more through it more clearly, probably.
That's what's up. Excellent.
Yeah, it was actually the mask is actually a funny thing too, because like I think I said this last time because I think you asked me like what's the deal with the mask, and I always think about it. I always think about it too, and I'm like, honestly, I don't know. Like the mask. Have you ever heard the expression like, if an idea wants to be alive, like an idea has its own life, and if it wants to be alive, it will make itself come alive, even if it's not through the person who originally thought the idea. So like So someone like had an idea and said it out loud. Someone else might take the idea and make it into real reality. But if an idea wants to be alive, it's gonna be alive. And I honestly believe that mask was an idea that just wanted to be alive one day. And I was chosen as its creator. And well, I don't even want to say creator because like one of my friends helped me design it. I just kind of like got a piece of paper and just made a little circle and then wrote words on this paper. And me and her sat down and kind of came up with like the words that were going to go on the mask. And then like I was like, this is kind of my idea. I just wanted at first came up with that smile. And so that was the first part. And then I was like, I want words around it, like words that would basically be words of society. And so me and her were like writing like words. And then we came out down to do the actual mask. And this girl is like a bachelor's degree and like art and like she's a professional like art maker of stuff. She majored in pottery, but she knew how to do so many other things besides pottery in the art field. And so I'm sorry, she was like, all right, well, like, I guess start your mask. So I get a permanent marker and I start like writing something. And she was like, is this how it's going to look? And I was like, yeah, like, what's wrong with this? And she's like, you don't understand, like, what's the word? Not proportion,
symmetric?
but,
symmetrical?
yeah, symmetric. Yeah. She's like, everything, because I wrote everything out, and she was like, none of this is symmetrical. None of it looks appealing to the eye. And I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, here, I already got your ideas. Leave all the stuff here. Go home. Come back tonight and pick it up. And I was like, fine. Fuck me then, all right? So then I leave, and I come back the next day. I think she said she was still getting some ideas done. And I come back the next day, and she hands me the mask, and that's what it was. It was the mask that I use today. And even when I need new ones, I'll pay her some money, and she'll make me new ones. But yeah, she kind of came up with the whole placement of all the words and everything, and made it look nice. And I started sporting it, and people were like digging the mask. And I don't know, man. Like I didn't expect it to be as big. I didn't expect it to be an icon. I didn't expect it to be what defined Mr. Fuentes. You know, the blazer already defines me, and then now the mask also defines me. You know,
because it's ironic.
What do you mean?
Proper, one's not proper.
Yeah.
It's contrast. You know what I mean? It's yin and yang. You know, like your blazers, you're more resolved, maybe quieter self. You're more, and then the mask is your fucking. I ain't doing shit today. Get out my face. You know, it's your
Yeah.
Maybe.
Like I've honestly thought about traveling to the idea of doing different masks, like doing like because the original idea for that mask was, like if you read all the stuff on the mask, it's like follow the leader, don't ask questions, go to college, spend money, make money. That's like basically it's the mask of society. Like that's the mask everyone's wearing. If you have a big smile and wave, you know.
Right.
So like that's the mask of society, which I hope one day I can take off. I don't have to be like everyone else. I don't have to go follow the leader. I don't have to. I'm allowed to ask questions and not be persecuted for them. You know, I'm hope that or get fired from my job because I don't like my boss. You know what I mean? I make a comment. I'm able to be my own individual, and that's I think the hope everyone has one day is that they can be their own boss and their own individual. At least to an extent, you know, at least CEO of a company or something. You only got one asshole to talk to. But I've been thinking about venturing more to like making another mask that would be like more of like the anarchist mask. Like what would be the opposite of blending in with society, which would be like almost to me like a mask that would symbolize more of like probably the values of the Joker in a sense of like anarchy, fuck the system, you know, things like that. And then that one, I had an idea of like making it all black with a mad red smile in it, or maybe a more vicious looking smile.
That would either be perfect for the times, or turn out to not to be insensitive to the times. There
Right.
might be a little bit of a balance to that may,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah, the times are crazy right now, man. You know,
They're real.
honestly, I think the whole reason all this is happening is because people just been pent up in their house and they've just been like mad and angry already, and then there's just kind of straw on the camel's back kind of thing, and it's just like, what do you expect? I mean, of course, people are going to act how they're acting right now. You've shoved them inside of a house for 2 months, and now they're restless, and then like something like this happens, like they're mad. People are mad. Like I'm not saying it's justifiable in any way. I don't like how personal businesses are being, affected by this, because they're hardworking people and they're gonna have to get the blunt end of all this. But
Mom and
they're
pops,
mad.
the mom and pops absolutely shouldn't be destroying the mom and pop stores and shit. You know what I mean? But I get, I
Yeah,
get
I
it.
mean,
Like we can't make any decisions on anything. We all got our own opinions on everything. But you're
yeah,
right. Oh, it's they set the trigger for something that was going to happen already. Because not only just with blacks, because it is definitely their movement, their thing they got going on right now. But we're all rallying beside them. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because
definitely.
they're systematically attacked, but at the same time, it happens to a lot of us. A lot of us have our asses beat by the cops. And a lot of us have the lower classes, the people that are trying to make that effort. We're sick and tired of shit. We're sick and tired of seeing the abuse and stuff. And then you lock everybody up and shit. Yeah, first thing you're gonna do, if you got a little teenage kid and you grounded him for a fucking month and he was having a good time before that, when he gets out, first thing he's gonna do is go get drunk, have fun with his friends, go bang some bra. He's gonna wild out.
Hmm.
Pretty much what happened here. And
Yeah,
especially considering we haven't faced. I mean, the riots. I'm 42. I lived through the riots in LA and shit. Um, but other than that, we really haven't had anything big blow. So it's kind of been building. Like I don't think people really know how to deal with the social changes that are happening. How everyone's kind of split over the last 4 years, with politics and everything else on both sides. You know what I mean? People are tired
yeah,
of the same old, same old. We
it
got
is
we
really
got
hard.
Biden and we got Trump. Both of them are scary as leaders. I don't like either one. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be straight up out there. Hate me, don't hate me. I'm the guy that posted fucking Trump with face tattoos, smoking a dope pipe. It's fun, whatever. Fuck them both. You know what I mean? One's a pervert and
One's a pervert.
one's yeah. They're both fucked up. It's all fucked up, man. Like look at us and shit. Like these fucking crazy motherfuckers. No, look at the politicians. Look at how twisted and warped and shit this is, man. And go read a book, fuckers. 1984. Go read it. I'm just saying.
What
Sorry, I had to
really
get on.
to me what really sucks is that, like, and yeah, I understand you have to get that off your chest. What really sucks to me is like something I've been like reading, because like I follow politics, a bit of politics in my normal life. And, one of the things that I've read a lot is that like this divide between Democrats and Republicans are just getting so deep that literally if one side says this, the other side says anti that. And there's just no more agreement for a middle ground anymore. There's no, like, nothing can be middle. Like everything's just a fight about everything. If this is right for this side, then this is definitely wrong for this side. And it's just so outrageous to me. Like, what I really do hope in the end, after all this rioting and all this stuff happens, that they still do find justice for um, George Floyd, and make sure, that the things are done properly and they don't use other people's actions and the things that they messed up to say, well, we were gonna do something, but because y'all did all this, now we're not. Like,
Right.
y'all, and like I really hope that somehow doesn't turn out to be that way, and I hope that the people that need to be brought to justice still get brought to justice in the end. Um, it looks like from what I've read, they are they at least have him in custody, and they are going to be charging him with something.
With
It says
her,
third degree murder, which someone's argument against why it's not like first degree is because I guess it needs to be premeditated for first degree, and then second
fully
degree is
thought
more
out
of a,
meaning.
And then
Yeah.
second degree is more like involuntary manslaughter, like if you accidentally kill him, which I think is what he should get.
Or
But in that specific state, so federally there's no such thing as third degree murder. But in specific states, they've extended it to third degree. I don't know. I was reading about it. I don't know exactly why a state would do that or why they would add on to it. I guess maybe for these types of reasons, honestly, to get some people off.
cases. I think for more
Yeah,
specific cases, for those gray lines, possibly.
possibly. That I guess maybe it was possibly for a better good, but yeah, I mean, from what I've read about like the penalty for it, it's still like 25 years in prison. Plus, on
Yeah.
top of that, he got second degree manslaughter, which is another 10 years. So like he's looking, if he gets convicted, because we never know if that's even going to happen, at 30
Right.
years or 35 years in prison, which I mean, I feel like that's justice in a sense. But I don't know. I mean, people also argue that he needs to die, and that's justice. And I can't really disagree with that either. It sounds really messed up. I'm not really advocating for death, but like it's kind of one of those the ideas that I think everyone's looking for. And this is just something I was thinking about today. The real idea is to control the police. You don't want the police doing what they're doing. And so really you need to get rid of the police, period. But if you get rid of the police, most people's fears are, well, what if someone comes to my house and tries to rob me, but I have no police officers to call? Who's going to help me? And that was kind of the ideas back in LA whenever the Crips and Bloods started. Originally, Crips and Bloods were gangs that were just protecting people in their neighborhoods because there were violent people that were coming around and doing that, and the police weren't getting there in time. So
One was a
group of
family
people,
and one was a group. But yeah.
so the group were able to respond faster because they lived in the neighborhood. So whenever something was happening, the group would call one of the other guys whenever someone would come to their house to try to do some kind of violent thing to them, and the group would like basically protect the single. So then that's kind of like what started happening. And then then rival gangs started happening, like, oh well, these people came here, and so then
that worked out.
But the beginning idea of it was a good idea. The beginning of it was to protect family, or family, friends, people you consider family. But the beginning idea was that you had a neighborhood of people that were willing to help you if something bad went wrong. And it kind of just seems like maybe that's the idea. I'm not saying we need to start gangs, but that's the idea I think we need to have. Like if my neighbor is getting robbed, if I have a gun, I should be going over there and helping my neighbor. If something's happening to people around me, I should be helping them myself, or vice versa. They should be helping me if I'm getting robbed. But I mean, that kind of, yeah, go ahead.
No, that's the way it should be. My dad always said, like the idea of gang isn't bad necessarily. It's when you go around claiming you're sad, causing shit, starting shit. But the original idea of protecting those around you, protecting your neighbor, standing for your friends and shit, like was always a good thing. Because that goes back to our tribal nature and shit. But right now they got us in all these small tribes when we really need to be one big tribe right now. You know what I mean? We need to get unified with all this, or there's not going to be any change. Because like you said, it was a good idea and it got distorted. And that's what man does, is we distort every good idea. His personal gains and everything else, But I always tell people, you got to start at small things because you can't control. It's like problems, like a big problem. You can't always deal outright with it. You got to deal with the small little problems that tend to start taking care of the big problem until it's manageable. It's the same with politics. You got to be local. You got to deal with your stuff in your local politics and move it up from there. You know what I mean? To get anything done, because we as a people individually can't really affect things as a person, but we can riot and do all the other shit as a person, as people. You know what I mean? So if that's your only alternative, this is why people go out like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I totally understand that. Like, crazy times, man. I really just hope that, some kind of resolve comes in the end for all this,
Right.
and that the best outcome comes out in the end, which hopefully is the officers that were involved coming to justice, and that there's peace of mind for George's family and things afterwards.
Right.
And then hopefully, things just don't. I mean, this stuff's gonna happen, and it also comes down to like something I've thought about too. It's just like a lot of the excuse a lot of like officers that have killed people use is I feared for my life. That's why I pulled my gun and shot. I feared for my life, and it's just like, dude, like if you feared for your life, it sounds like if you feared for your life when someone walked up to you just a little aggressively, it sounds like you're in the wrong job field.
Right,
Like,
because you posted, I believe.
Did you hear that both the officer and the guy that got shot used to work at a strip club together?
Oh yeah, and supposedly, and I want to get back to my point too. Supposedly, the guy who died and the police officer used to work together at a strip club before.
what? That's crazy.
Yeah, like
They
that
used
was
to
going
work
around.
like they knew each other.
Like they'd known each other and shit. So like this plot thickens a little bit.
So now it like could be premeditated because he knew him, and supposedly like there had been issues between them in the past.
Oh,
So it
wow.
could be right.
So
See,
it could be first-degree murder.
It could be. Yeah. Where did I leave off with this? I just lost myself. It's okay.
You're saying
baby.
that I posted something and then I forgot what it was.
I think from the Being Libertarian page, where it was I don't remember if he was Marine or what he was, but he said that they had certain things they had to deal with in war and stuff. You see the truck barreling towards you, you had to do the smoke flare, you had to shot, you had to do this, you had to do so many steps before you could take that shot. And that cops don't have to do. He says it's a shame because we're in a war zone and we have to take all these steps.
Mm-hmm.
You're a patrolman and you don't have to take these steps. You're scared. Boom, you shoot them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much how it is. It's pretty, I think, no, it's just crazy, honestly, all of it. And another thing I was talking about, I think today, was how, every government thing that's a government thing, period. The DMV, the police, what else is government that we deal with on a daily basis?
Unemployment.
Just the tax office. Anything. Oh, water. Water is another one. But water is like usually by your city. Your city supplies you water.
Yeah.
The DMV, I don't know. You're in Arizona, right? I don't know, because I've heard some places don't need driver's license. This is what I heard. I don't know if that's true.
No, we take a license here.
Right, they have I'm sure you have a DMV there too.
They call it the MVD. It's called the MVD. Motor
MVD?
Vehicle Division. Yeah, MVD. I got here from California. I'm like, the fuck is this? I know the DMV.
The DMV driver motor vehicle. I don't know what the fuck, man. Anyway, and police. They're all monopolies. Like there's no better systems to go into if you don't like the service that's going on in the DMV. Well, you're shit out of luck. They just treat you like shit, and you got to get on with your life. If there was anything else, there's no reason for them to even be nice people. You're lucky if you go into a DMV and meet a nice DMV person, because there's nowhere else I can go get my license. I have to go to them, and it's mandatory. And it's the same thing for the police. The police you only get one police force, and if they do a crummy job, then you're fucked. You can't just go get another police force. You can't hire another security team. You can't do any of that. It's a monopoly that's poorly designed, and we can't opt out of it. And then they keep killing people, and they're justifying it every time. And I can't even cancel my service with them. I can't do anything. Like it's just, you're just screwed. And that's what I was trying to talk about today, is like there needs to be better choices, or just not have the choice at all. And we need to go back to old school, just relying on our neighbors. And then that kind of comes up to, well, if we policed ourselves, then we should also have access to more firearms too, because police have access to higher firearms to protect the community. So
Right.
if we were to break that down, we should have access to firearms as well to protect our community. But
Right.
there's so
Absolutely.
much you would have to do to break down to get to that basic level again, where we're just protecting our own community and not having to rely on a separate force to do it for you. And I mean, I thought about it the other day. I was like, what would you do? Because one of the things the police do, um, police is the roads. If someone's speeding, if someone's running lights, if someone's doing crazy shit, you know, if there was no police, like, how would you stop these people? Would you just would you be a civilian and try to stop them? Would you just let them run rampant? Like, how would you deal with the case? Like, what happens when
Yeah.
someone gets hit? What happens when this happens? And so it just like, I do kind of understand the idea of like, what would we do without a police force? But then at the same time, I would have been like, shit, I'm having spike chains on the side of my road. If someone's speeding down all the time, as soon as I hear that fucker with his fucking Hemi, whoosh, throwing out that chain, man. Fuck those guys.
Spoken like a Texan.
But I don't know, man. Life's crazy. I hope someone can come up with better ideas than me and actually do something to change the world and how we live it.
I think first step is and a lot of people catch flack for this sentence. I'm gonna say it because I've known a lot of cops that were good cops. Sorry, Zodiac, I do. Okay, but I know a lot of bad ones, and some of the good ones were kind of bad ones. But they gotta start making themselves responsible for their brothers, their people. You know what I mean?
Oh,
You gotta
sure.
stop letting them do all this shit. If they could correct that, and I'm trying to find the right term for it, but if they can hold themselves accountable, each
Yeah.
and other, you know what I mean? And maybe in some form or way, maybe we can vote cops in and out too. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
maybe there's a way of putting more of a leash on the police department because you do have to have somewhat of a force
I mean,
because people
that's
are crazy.
actually reasonable. Like, if we're able to vote every cop in and be able to vote every cop out, they wouldn't be as much dicks as they are. Just like how the representatives like kiss their constituents' asses because they want to be reelected when it comes back
Right.
around. So they try quotation marks to kiss our asses and do what we ask, or else they're going to get voted out next year. Which even that's kind of bullshit when I've heard like the big thing. Like, some of these people really get in there and then they take the big payouts from the lobbyists and they only want that one term. They just want that one term so they can get the few million. They don't care if they get reelected, but they're set for the rest of their lives after that. That's fucking shady
Absolutely.
shit.
Stop paying these motherfuckers. Stop
Yeah,
paying. Like,
fuck
fuck
it.
that. You don't deserve to get a fucking. Fuck that. I'll be a senator and work at fucking McDonald's, motherfucker.
That's
You know
fucked.
what I mean? Don't pay
But
me.
anyway, but yeah, if you could vote in and out an officer, like, I think that would make people really, it would make the officers be less, how they are. And as long as they're not doing dumb shit, then they'll get reelected again as an officer next year. Like, I'm
Right.
sure they will. There's officers, and that is the shitty part too, because there's officers in my town that are really good officers. Like, I've talked to them; they're like genuinely good people. And I'm a brown person in predominantly white town for the most part, and a lot of people would like to say like that systematic racial stuff, but some of the nicest cops are the white cops, and they talk to me just fine. They don't hassle me or do anything. There are a couple of officers who happen to be white that are real jackasses, like real jackasses. And everyone knows who those officers are. But then there's the other officers that are like super, I don't want to say lenient, but they definitely sometimes let you get away with more shit than you probably should. But they'll really be on you if you're doing the bad shit. And I think, I'm not saying that everyone should be like let off when they're doing wrong things, but it's also one of those things too where it's like police are really only there to protect you from harm. And
Right.
if they're stopping you to give you a warning about, hey man, like I seen you pass by here like 3 times and you didn't use a blinker. Like I'm just pulling you over to let you know you need to use your blinker, bro.
Right.
Keep everyone safe around you. You have a good day. It's just a little warning, man. A verbal warning. I'm not even writing you a ticket. Like, get out of here. Like, have a good day, man. And like a lot of these people are really nice, but it does suck that, a lot of these officers who do get into the line of duty to actually protect and serve get mixed in with these officers who have a chip on their shoulder and they kind of want to overexert their power and do horrendous things and think they can get away with it because they have a badge. And
right. And it's fucked up that there's that mentality with it. We went on a rant again. I love it. I love rants because we get into some good shit. But we're about at that hour mark. The ladies already came in the room and flashed me a couple times. So, yeah. No, that shit. But let's get to how you're working on an album.
I am.
Right?
And also I haven't showed anyone yet. And so my girlfriend's an artist. And I don't know how this is gonna work with how far I am from this camera. I'm in my car right now, so I can't even back up more if I wanted to. But the album that I'm gonna come out with is an album. It's called Sneak Peek, and so the concept of the album is this is my first album that's gonna be on Funny Farm, and the concept was more of since this is my first album, this is kind of everyone's like first glimpse of like who I am, like what I am besides the other CDs that I gotten done before. This will kind of be a sneak peek of Mr. Fuentes. And then at the same time, it's supposed to be like more of a sneak peek of who I am behind the mask. So you kind of get a sneak peek of who Mr. Fuentes is. Kind of a double entendre. And the way I have the album set up, I'm trying to get every Funny Farm artist on this album as well. So then it'll kind of be a sneak peek of Funny Farm Records as well. So it's kind of like, it's just kind of double entendres on it, but sneak peek. And so like I was saying before, my girlfriend's an artist and I asked her if she could draw my album cover for me for this. And she did, and she came through awesomely. And I'm going to try to show this on here and see if it comes out well. But this is the album cover, Sneak Peek.
That's badass.
And she did, like, the detail's fucking crazy. Like, that's my face, bro. Like, and it's like the mask melting off my face. But yeah, she drew this. She did a really amazing job. I really love her. She's amazing. She's an amazing person. And so yeah, like so far official features I have on this album is Robzilla and Hard Jaws from She.
From She, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm super excited for the track with Hard Jaws. It's a track called Hostile, and I really dig that track. I haven't heard his verse yet, but he's telling me he's gonna send it to me soon, and so I'm just like super excited to hear what he does with this song. I'm really excited about what I put on it, and so I'm super excited about what he does with it as well. And then Robzilla, we have a song called Strange Voices, and unofficial features, which are people. When I say unofficial, these are people I've talked to. They said yes, but we'll see what happens in the end. But Nairo's supposed to be on it. FTW. We're actually trying to do I'm trying to do a track on there. It's supposed to be me, Nairo, and the 2 guys from FTW, Big C and Rizzo. Oh, well, and we're supposed to be a group together. Tips. Anyway, together, the Muff Ticklers.
What the fuck?
Because we all got beards. And we're supposed to be the Muff Ticklers. So that song, I'm trying to get it done together with all of us on there. And it's supposed to be like kind of a sneak peek of what the Muff Ticklers would be like when we get an EP put together. And
Yeah, is one huge ass hip hop orgy.
yeah, and the
It
song's
is.
kind of like, yeah, it's a big hip hop orgy, huh? And I'm trying to get all the Funny Farm artists on there too. I'm still talking to them about the song that I'm trying to get on. But there should also be Tim Torment, Champa, Cryptic, and Suave Swag. They should also, so all of them, I'm trying to get on the track. I'm trying to get a track with them on the album as well. But besides that, that's it. There was a song, and I'm having a real hard time getting a hold of this guy. But Drew was telling me before that he talked to MC Chris. You know who MC Chris is?
Hmm.
He's like a nerdcore rapper. He did that song Boba Fett. My backpack got jets. I'm Boba the Fett. I'm on the hunt
Okay.
for Baba. You remember that song? That was MC Chris, and
Okay.
he was supposed to get on a song with me too. But Nairo said this is so when he confirmed this with me, it was like a year and a half ago. It was when like I first got signed on to Funny Farm. He was like, "Yeah, I got you a feature with MC Chris for your next album," and then I took too long to put this damn album together, and so we're trying to get in contact with MC Chris, and I have the track laid out for him already. I just can't get a hold of the guy. So, um, unofficial feature should be MC Chris, but we're still trying to get a hold of him. And if not, I got a couple of other people in mind to throw in there, and hopefully maybe I can do a future collab with him if it doesn't happen, or maybe I'll
Right.
never do a collab with him. Who knows? Um, but I'm hoping. I really like. I was a bit whenever I was a kid, like DQ Blizzard. You remember that song? Like a DQ Blizzard. Yeah, like a D. It was like it was another NC Chris song, and it was just like crazy. I don't know, man. Anyway, DQ Blizzard and Boba Fett was, I think it was called Fett's Vet. Anyway, that was the official track title, but Boba Fett's what everyone calls it. I was like 13 years old jamming this shit, man. And then to imagine I'm gonna have that guy featured on a song with me,
Right.
like literally like 17 years later, like that's just crazy in my head. Like I had another kid, and then that kid liked MG Chris, like in that amount of time. Like that's just I don't have kids, but I'm just saying, like if my 13-year-old self had a kid, he would be older than I was when I met MC Chris music, and I don't know, man. Anyway, I'm trying to get all weird with it, but um,
There's gonna be a restraining order.
but I really, so far, the songs that I've gotten laid out and done, I'm really excited for. I'm really excited for people to hear this album. And I already have like the next thing in line right after. So as soon as I get this album done, I'm already starting on the next album right afterwards. And I'm planning on like, by the time this album releases, which is still not a release date, I'm honestly still working on the songs, finishing them all up. So that's still up in the air. But hopefully in the next couple of months, I can get everything laid out and done.
We'll be looking
But,
forward to it.
huh?
We'll be looking forward to it.
Man, yeah, I mean, with this awesome album cover and
Right.
and music, I
Fire.
I really am hoping that it comes out to be a good one, man.
Better be some fire. I want to shout out and show some love to a friend of yours too. That guy Tom. Dude, you're dope, dude. Like we made him shit poster of the week, and he came with all his fans, and he hooked us up on likes, like, and people interact too that came from him and his invites and stuff. Your invites, like, it's mad love to you guys out there. I love you guys in Texas. Fuck you guys are the fucking shit, man.
Yeah,
Go.
that guy Tom's good people. He's always
Yeah.
been super humble with me, and honestly, I don't know why. He just is. He just been just like you. You've been super humble to me ever since we first had our interview and met and talked, and um, y'all are all good people, man. I'm glad that I've gotten in contact with y'all, and we're doing stuff that we like doing. He's over here doing filming for mini series and stuff like that, and you're doing interviews, and I'm doing rapping. Like it's just really cool to.
We might bring him on too. The
It
whole
should.
group.
He's a funny guy. He's a fun guy.
He was talking about maybe getting his whole cast up here, get his whole cast to come on the couch.
Yeah, him, Yogi, and Richard.
Yeah, it was just something I was just throwing out there, but I think it would be really dope.
I think it'd be fun.
Any last anythings, my friend?
Um, Not really. Just everyone that. Thank you for anyone that came on here. You can stream my music on Spotify, Mr. Fuentes, and then Mr. Fuentes 361 on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Um, I think that's pretty much it, honestly. And YouTube, you can just search Mr. Fuentes and find stuff on there.
And you got stuck, Mr. Fuentes. Let's see if he comes back. This is a great pose of yours right now. We're gonna have to meme this. Like that's an album cover in itself. I don't know if you can hear me, but thank you for coming on, brother. Thank you everybody for checking us out, whether on YouTube, Spotify, Spreaker, Podcast Addict. I'm DJ Gonzo. This is The Couch. I hope you enjoyed. And next Wednesday, I got motherfucking Scribble Force 5 Records. I think he said he used to be a Christian rapper. Sonny, he said on Facebook today, we're going to check it out. But much love. Time to do the family thing. Buy the take a ride. Check out Mr. Fuentes and all the places he said. Go buy his stuff. Show us man some support. He's got mad love for the game, and he deserves what he's got. I see his face now. As we're cutting out, you were so frozen. You scared the shit out of me, though, because you were stuck in this one pose. And I'm doing out the ending, and then it moved and shit, and I was like, holy crap, my blood sugar is going. But thank you for coming.
I was like listening, and I was like, oh my god, I'm broken right now.
Right.
But no, I still talk because I didn't know if it was still recording. Regardless, I don't know what you caught last. But basically, I was just telling everyone to be safe out there during these crazy times, and protest with care and do what y'all need to get done. And pretty much it, man. Just like I said, thank you for having me on.
And thank you, brother. I'm glad you came on. This is The Couch. I'm DJ Gonzo. We're out. Off there and off here. All right, brother. Thank you.